Welcome to NoticeAssist, a new software developed by the Impact Fund. NoticeAssist is a tool customized for class actions and powered by ChatGPT that helps class action litigators make class action notices that are clearer and easier to understand. In this webinar, you will learn why we've done this and how it works, which is a nice segue to Jocelyn Larkin, who now serves as counsel to the Impact Fund, having served as our Executive Director for 14 plus years until March of this year, and whose vision has brought us to this moment. So Jocelyn, please tell us, how did we get here?
Thank you so much, Teddy. This has been almost 10 years in the making, and I am so excited that we finally get to tell everyone about it and show you how it works, because it's cool. So about 9 years ago, we did some focus groups to ask people generally about how they felt about class actions, what they knew about class actions. And over again, people would talk about the notices they got in the mail, how they couldn't read them, they couldn't understand them, they felt frustrated by them, and how they tossed them in the trash. And this was a real light bulb for us. We thought, okay, they've got a point, right? And we could fix this. What we needed to do was just create some simpler notices and then convince lawyers and judges that these were legally compliant and in fact would be a whole lot better. And that's what we set out to do. And we started with some graphic designers and plain language experts. And we worked on just simplifying the language and making it more visually appealing and just use fewer words. So this front page of the notice that you'll see has been through many iterations, but the idea is to catch people's attention, to tell them really simply why they're here, and to get them started on the process, essentially welcome them into the document. And so many of you are familiar with the templates that we've developed, but the important elements include the fact that we put information in the order that people need it, and we provide definitions for important concepts at the point at which people need them. So the idea is that it's clean and it's organized in a way that would be helpful to an average reader at a grade level that is much closer to 8th grade than what the typical class notice is, which is beyond the reading level of most of us, frankly. We created and included some infographics that help people sort of think about their choices. And this had in mind the fact that people take in information differently, people process differently. And interestingly, when we started testing these, there were some people in focus groups who said they absolutely loved the decision tree. It made everything simple for them. And other people said, no, I skipped over that. That's not a thing for me. The point is, though, it's just another way of communicating to different kinds of readers in terms of providing options for understanding what can sometimes be kind of a tricky set of choices or decisions about how they go through. And so we rolled these out, we started rolling them out more than a year ago. And I love this map because it shows you all of the judges who have approved and used our new templates across the country. And there are more every day. It's super exciting. And we also have just a list of the different kinds of cases in which the templates have been used. So we're hoping we're sort of at the beginning of a revolution in terms of changing what class notices look like. So if you want to get the templates, for those of you who don't have them yet, you can go to noticeproject.org, and that's where we have them. And there are different notices based on different case categories, easy to use, easy to find, and we're always here to help you with those. But now let me get on to the real highlight of today, which is NoticeAssist. So I I want to turn this now over to our product manager, Alex Lara, who's brought this uh, piece of software to today and ready for launch for all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Jocelyn. Yeah, thank you everyone for attending this webinar. It's been some time to get the software to where it's at now, but I'm happy to walk you guys through what we have for everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So, the way the software works is that it's simply a Microsoft add-in tool. So this is accessible through any deployment of like Microsoft Word. So you could access it through the add-in store within Microsoft Word by clicking on this little icon right here. But we'll have more information about that later. But in any case, here we have a sample section of a notice using one of our templates. As you can see, it's the section for learning about the settlement, which has three subsections to it. And to the right is the software opened up. And it's designed to be minimally invasive. So what that really means is it's really simple to use. It doesn't rewrite anything within your notice unless you give it permission. And there's really just one core functionality, which is it helps you enhance the readability of that notice. So that's the core of it. And as you can see, there's just two buttons. So it's pretty self-explanatory. So you click on this button if you want to enhance readability. You click on this button to review your saved suggestions. But in any case, once you want to get started, you click on this button. And as soon as you do that, Notice Assist will start analyzing your notice from top to bottom, and it'll do this in a progressive manner. And it'll then provide you with suggestions that it thinks are of high priority. So it'll serve you one at a time. So it's not going to give it to you like all in just one giant list. So you'll see here in a moment how it's going to present that. So right off the bat, you'll notice that the software will go ahead and highlight the section that needs further refinement in pink. But before we get into the highlight, I want to first zoom in to this section over here and walk you guys through how this is organized. So again, this is the way it's working. It's enhancing the readability, and you can see here in the count is that it generated 4 suggestions. Now, that's not 4 suggestions for the entire notice. That's 4 suggestions for this given um, generation cycle. So you could generate more suggestions, but 3 or 4 at a time. This start button right here, this simply is just here so that, if you want to pin one of these suggestions down for later, you could go ahead and do that. You could just save it for later. This section here, well, this is the provided or the suggested revision of the highlighted text that you saw a moment ago. And there's also a pencil icon here. You could edit this text if you want to, if there's something you want to change about it. You could go ahead and apply it, or you could just dismiss it entirely. And this section below it is the analysis section, which basically gives you a breakdown of what the AI was thinking when it generated this suggested revision. And finally, this section down over here, the feedback section, this is simply just an open box for anyone to just tell us like what you guys think of the suggestion. And we really read these things, so there's no such thing as bad feedback. I mean, all feedback is good in my eyes. So yeah, we were happy to see what you guys think of any of these suggestions, and you could provide a thumbs up or thumbs down. And at the very bottom, you could toggle back and forth between suggestions, as you can see here. But in any case, yeah, so let's go through this first suggestion, Jocelyn. So what do you think?
Okay, well, just so everyone knows, we used a really poorly written notice to kind of give you guys an idea of how easy it can be to improve it, because let me promise you, our templates are way better than this. But our first sentence is the parties to this litigation have reached a mutual accord to create a settlement fund in the aggregate amount of 7.5 million, which shall be funded by Star Organic Dairy, the involved retail entities, and their respective insurers. Okay. Well, to be honest, you would have seen that in a lot of the old notices. It's super wordy. And what Notice Assist has given us is something I think that's a lot better, but maybe not perfect. So what we got here as the AI suggestion is the groups involved in the lawsuit agreed to create a settlement fund worth 7.5 million. This fund will be paid by Star Organic Dairy, the store is selling their products, and their insurance companies. So I actually really like this suggestion, except I don't like the word groups, because I think parties, actually, that legal term, is necessary in this context. So Alex is going to go in, he's going to change it to parties, and then great. So let's just apply it and click it in. So we've
Cool.
corrected it and we can move on to the next one, Alex.
All right.
Okay, next sentence. This settlement fund is expressly designated to address all financial obligations arising from the settlement, including but not limited to monetary distributions, blah, 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 attorney's fees and costs, blah, blah. Okay. So this fund, the alternative suggestion is this fund is intended to cover all the costs that come from reaching the settlement. These costs include money owed to the people involved in class action, costs to run the process, cost to keep an eye on things, and the lawyer's fees. So I like all of that, except I don't love cost to keep an eye on things. So I might change that to just monitoring costs.
Well, how about let's just pin it for later.
Okay, let's do that.
Mhm.
So let's just say the AI generates for you a suggestion that you're like, it's okay, but maybe I don't love it, and I want to go on, and maybe I'll come back to it. So we could just go ahead, pin that one, and that'll be one of our save suggestions. Because one of the things about AI is that it's constantly thinking and rethinking. So if you put that sentence back in another time with AI, they might have a different a suggestion for you. So let's just save that one because it's good, but it's not perfect. So let's move on to our next one, Alex.
Sure.
Okay, how do I know if I'm part of this settlement? And the text that we had, if prior to September 15th, 2021, you purchased organic milk or butter manufactured by the dairy, you can potentially qualify as a member of the settlement class, and as such can be entitled to monetary compensation under the terms of the settlement. Well, I think for most lawyers that doesn't sound terribly bad, but there's a lot of words in there that are hard for ordinary people. And so what has Notice Assist given us? If you bought Star Organic Dairy's organic milk or butter before September 15, 2021, you might be eligible to get some money as part of the settlement. Okay, that is way better. And so let's just apply that one and take it and move on.
Right.
Okay, each settlement class member who submits a properly completed and timely claim form shall be eligible to receive a one-time cash payment of $25, irrespective of whether said claimant provides proof of purchase documentation. And here, the suggestion, there's some pretty bad words in there. Here, the suggestion is every person involved who fills out and sends their form on time could get a one-time payment of $25. This is regardless of whether they can show a receipt or other proof of buying the milk. Okay, all of you out there listening, tell us what you think about this suggestion. Is this one that you would you'd be thumbs up on? Maybe not. Maybe you'd edit it.
Sure.
What's your reaction to that one? So tell me, Teddy, how are people feeling about it?
Sorry, I am not seeing a bunch of reactions here, but we have to look. Oh, there's a heart and there's a wow face. One of
Okay, well,
each.
so this uh we wanted you all to kind of engage in this thinking about this, because Notice Assist is really not intended to just be a rewrite. It's really intended to be like an assistant for you, in the sense of, here's an idea. Maybe you don't like my idea, but maybe you like it, or maybe you like some of it. So do the editing and have sort of a quick rewrite and then include it. Or, as we mentioned, you can go back and save some suggestions and go back to them. Okay, Alex, let's do one more and then we'll go back and look at our old suggestion.
Yeah, so at this point, we've reached the end of the first set of generated suggestions. So we reached to the fourth one. So at this point, whenever you click next, you're then, presented with this screen where Notice Assist will ask you, well, do you want to generate more suggestions? Do you want to go back and review the suggestions we just covered? Or do you want to go back to our home screen and view all the suggestion categories, which include your saved suggestions? So let's go ahead and generate more suggestions. All right, this is the next one.
So, Alex, I think this is also just a nice feature in case you only have time to do a certain portion of it, maybe not all of it. Instead of having it go through and review the entire notice, you can just do it in pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so this one is claims submitted under this provision are classified as Category A claims, because so here there's basically kind of two kinds of claims. And what Notice Assist is suggesting is when people apply under these rules, we call it a Category 1 claim. I don't love that one. I think this sentence could still be improved, but for me, this one's I wouldn't accept this one. So let's dismiss that one.
Okay.
All right, we'll try one more.
Mm-hmm.
In the event that the aggregate value, this is always really hard to explain, right? Like all of everybody's claims, and then there's the pro rata. Okay, in the event that the aggregate value of Category A and Category B claims exceeds the amount available in the settlement fund, the monetary disbursements to class members shall be adjusted on a pro rata basis. If that is always hard to explain to people. So let's see if Notice Assist gave us any help. Okay, if the total amount of Category A and Category B claims goes beyond what's in the settlement fund, then the money given to the class members will be divided fairly based on what everyone's supposed to get. That's pretty good. Maybe that last sentence doesn't perfectly explain pro rata, but I like it a lot more. And I think it definitely improves on what's there. So we might save that one and go back and do a little tinkering with it, but it definitely was an improvement over the existing. Okay, so hopefully all of you got a sense of how it works and how easy it can be to fix up your notice and improve its readability.
Thank you, Alex and Jocelyn. It looks like Notice Assist will make a significant contribution to engaging class members.